Next up, I'm going to play my Sega Master System, and I'm not trying to fool anybody here. This isn't actually a Master System release, this is a reproduction game, and this is the Game Gear game Sonic Triple Trouble. I guess this is some hobbyist company that's done this. But I was always very interested in the 8-bit games at the time because I didn't have a Master System, and I always wanted one. And I didn't end up buying one until I got an account on eBay years later. And they've done a very good job with it. There's no instruction manual, but there is a nice Master System cartridge. Although it doesn't have a glossy label, this is just paper. But the actual cartridge itself works on real hardware, which is really what I'm looking for. So, let's play some Triple Trouble. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to actually be playing it on my Mega Drive using this Master System converter. I will try to make this louder, but the recording was very quiet for some reason. Okay, there we are. So you do actually get some options in this game. You can do a time attack mode, or you can do a sound test from that title screen. And of course you can choose Sonic or Tails. They do like their enemies with springs in the 8-bit games, don't they? You'd think going back to these 8-bit games after years and years they'd look really dated. But actually some of them do look surprisingly close to the 16-bit games. But maybe that was the approach they were going for back then. There's definitely a few things that give it away that it's not a 16-bit game. I think I can spin dash through here. Now actually this game is a sequel to Sonic Chaos. The same company that made Sonic Chaos made this. I never liked Sonic 2 on the Master System. I actually really liked Sonic Chaos, which came after Sonic 2. But the thing about Sonic Chaos was that it seemed to be a little bit too much for 8-bit machines, and the levels were really small. But you can see here in this game, the levels seem to be really quite big, but the levels in Sonic Chaos are definitely a lot smaller than this. It's quite interesting how well this handles the Sonic platforming genre. They really have packed in quite a lot into this little cartridge. It does seem to lack enemies a little bit though, doesn't it? I think generally from playing this. It seems that this game is a little bit too far on the easy side. I've got a Tails signpost there. I don't know what that does. But of course, yeah, I'm playing this on a Master System, but this is a Game Gear game. But because the Game Gear and the Master System are essentially the same hardware, it's just like a lot of other 8-bit games that were just on both. So you can see when you convert it to a Master System, it just uses the full screen. Everything's intact, really. There's just the odd little glitch here and there. You'll get the odd object sitting out of bounds that you're not actually supposed to see anyway. But there is a new move in this game actually, and you need to use it for this boss here. Once you bounce on a spring, if you press the jump button, then Sonic will roll into a ball briefly. This game does look very nice. It still manages to look really, really nice. I suppose the animation's not amazing. And obviously the music sounds like Master System music. Okay, so now we're moving on to Sunset Park. And the gimmick in this level really is just these little carts. I think they did a really good job with this game actually, because it would have been really easy just to pump out just another game. This game came out in late 1994, and by that point the 32X and the Sega Saturn had come out, which is probably why they didn't release it on the Master System, thinking about it, because I think Sega dropped the Master System before they dropped the Game Gear. But if you think about all those different consoles they had out at the same time, their resources were probably spread pretty thin. So the first thing to go was the Master System. That's probably about the right time to drop it, late 1994. Although it did get a release of Sonic Spinball, didn't it? I wonder which game came first. I wonder if Sonic Spinball on 8-bit machines came before this. I do remember when I was growing up, an awful lot of people had Game Boys. And a few people had Game Gears, and it wasn't really the colours that made the difference, or the battery life. It was pretty much just the price. I knew a lot of people that had Master Systems though. Ah, so this boss. So yeah, they've made this a little bit interesting. This is not just an ordinary boss. He's actually doing parallax scrolling on a Master System. This is kind of like those bosses in Sonic Advance 2, isn't it? I think it's Sonic Advance 2. There we go. Oh, that was nice. That was something interesting. You can see they did actually put some nice effort into this game. Like I was saying just a minute ago, they could have really just pumped out a basic platformer. They've actually done a really good job here. This was the 4th platformer made for 8-bit hardware. The guy that did the music for Streets of Rage actually ended up getting the license to make a Sonic game for the Master System, first of all. The first Sonic game. But then I think him and his company ended up working on Streets of Rage 2. So this different team started making the Sonic platform games, and they made Sonic 2, Sonic Chaos and Sonic Triple Trouble. And actually I think they made a Batman game that I've got on the Master System as well. So they must have been 8-bit specialists. I really want to get those speed boots. Ah, there we go, got it. Thinking about it, the graphics in this zone do look just a little bit like Angel Island zone. I think this must have come out after Sonic 3. So perhaps they were inspired just a little bit by the themes in Sonic 3. So this is their jungle zone. Look at that, you also sort of get to run on the ceiling in this game. Although some bits like that, like running around loops, are a little bit clunky in this. And actually those round things that smash are taken straight out of Sonic CD. What was it called? Collision Chaos Zone. Oh, I've got to say, they really have done a good job of this, because all of the graphics do look really nice and big and chunky. And yet you don't seem to... there doesn't seem to be any slowdown, and there doesn't seem to be any flicker either. I do remember the first time I played this, I thought it was just a bit of a by-the-numbers Sonic game. But the second time, perhaps I'm sort of seeing it with some fresh eyes. I'm actually quite liking this. Actually, this video is going to be really long because these levels are really long. This is an odd boss really, because it doesn't actually do anything. This is the boss that seems a bit phoned in. And I wasn't sure about this particular section. At first I wasn't sure about this particular section, but it turns out it is actually just a little extra they added at the end of the boss. Oh yeah, this must take place... If Knuckles is in this, but he's an antagonist... I figure he must be an antagonist if he's pushing buttons that sets the whole bloody screen on fire. Then this must take place after Sonic 3, but before Sonic and Knuckles. I don't really know at what point in the story this takes place, unless they just ignore all that and they just decided to make a game. Alright, so this is the winter level. And this is another trope that they've taken from Sonic 3, isn't it? And actually I do have to say the graphics in this zone in particular do look a little bit repetitive. But I do have to give them credit for making these levels as big as they have. Because you know, these 8-bit consoles really don't have much memory. But actually at this particular point I get lost because this level is so big that it actually kind of loops back on itself. So yeah, I'm going to finish the video here. It's pretty damn good. So there you go, that's the end of the video.